Hello there. This is my 666 uh I'm tongue tied already. 666 subscribers celebration. So, I've had this idea planned for a little while now, and I was supposed to do this last night. I was too ambitious, and I said it's coming out last night because I hit 666 last night, and then I kind of just fell asleep. So here it is today. I know. Hopefully you all aren't disappointed in me, but the basic idea here is I'm going to be reviewing some of my thumbnails. I thought it would be a fun idea because I used to create thumbnails for Modern Day Debate. I think either James learned how to do Photoshop because I was kind of teaching him how to do Photoshop, or he got someone else who does it cheaper or something. I don't know. Anyway, I created a, or maybe he just didn't like, because I always tried to make them funny. So, and he sometimes wanted like real plain ones. So we'll kind of go over that. I thought also we could go over just my regular thumbnails, and rank them in a tier list based on which are the best. And I guess I'll just start with my regular thumbnails that I didn't upload to Modern Day Debate. I guess just to wait for some people to come in and just to kill some time, make it a little longer. We'll save the finale for, later on in the video. And so I guess I'll just first obviously we have to pray to Satan and thank Satan for all the gifts that he has given us. And then let's jump into it. I do have a little background music. Let me know if it's too loud. I can turn it down. I tested it. It seemed okay to me. And yeah, let's see here. Here's the first one that I want to do. Alright. These are kind of in a random order. So, if you guys remember this video, it was about the Gematria Challenge, where I was challenged to produce basically biblical numerology patterns to get $1,500. I turned it in at last minute, so the guy said he wasn't going to pay me. So I said he stole $1,500 from me. I like this. It's got Jesus looking down on a wallet. But when it's kind of a thumbnail, it's hard to tell what it is. I was still using kind of a cringe font at this point. I'll put this in, I don't know. I'll go C tier. I might change my mind. This one did really well. So, and it's pretty basic stuff. It's eye-catching. It's good. It's got a funny gesture Maddox is doing. It's got a white outline, and it's got a nice little anime face. It's got a nice font, retro kind of coloration to it. Uh-oh. I left the 666 up. Let's go back then. Just in case anyone didn't see this, let me let you feast your eyes on that. And yeah, I'll adjust. There we go. It's got kind of a weird cutoff here, so I'll adjust. Alright, I know just about the dimensions now. Alright, so you saw that. We're going to put that in C tier. Put that back in C tier. Go back to Maddox. This was Again, nice little thumbnail. It's got all the basic clickbaity things there. I don't know why B tier is white. I guess it wouldn't show up against the yellow, or it's black, so white wouldn't show up. I'm gonna put this in B tier for now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And what's next? This one was like my first short, I think. So, what happened here? This was a small interaction where Nathan Thompson actually had to correct his flat earther partner, and it was just a great interaction. I like the Star Wars font with the, the flat earth theme. It's just a good, and I am enhanced. I can't remember if I enhanced Davey a little bit. I enhanced Nathan's eyes to make him a little more creepy. Flurf on Flurf violence. I'm going to go with A tier on this one. Flurf babies. Again, this was my response to Witsit Gets It, in quotes, because he clearly doesn't get it. This is when I started using the mute button pacifier format and the flat earth babies format, because they all act like children, because they hold an unjustifiable position. And yeah, obviously I enhanced this a little bit. Not a whole lot. His teeth are pretty messed up. A tier. I put a lot of effort into my flat earth destructions. Alright. I started getting good at like pumping out thumbnails with kind of a template. So this color scheme is kind of what I stick with. I thought this was a pretty good thumbnail because, it's funny, but we'll put it in B tier because it's not that funny. Let's see here. Okay, more flat earth. Flirth babies. This was my most recent flat earth debate. Pretty good. But I would say nothing special. And it's piggybacking on the original format. Solid, but yeah. This one I would say is maybe a little less. Maybe a little less good. I'll put that in C tier. It's decent. It's not bad. Alright. Biblical prophecy. This was a debate with Nicholas Whitmire, I think, and about the failed prophecy of Jesus, how he became, well, he said, the second coming shall come before any of you who taste death. He still hasn't come 2,000 years later. I really liked the statue of Jesus and his expression. This makes me laugh. I'll go B tier. Might have to make them a little smaller. Alright. This was actually based on... Let me see if I can find it. There we go. This was based on another thumbnail that I created. I'll bring it up in a second. This is a... it's a solid thumbnail. But I think I'll put it in C tier for now. It was made very hastily. This was the original it was kind of based on, with the Kent's head blown up, confused look on his face. This was in the, I think, the final episode of my evolutionary stasis series, and at this point I was still not as good at Photoshop as I am now. I could have cut out his head pretty easily. I chose not to because the old method I used was literally just manually erasing everything. And it's supposed to kind of look like a jumbled mashup. I don't know. I want to put it in B tier. Yeah, I'll put it in B tier. It's got some of the meme stuff in it. Now, where was I? Alright. This was... I forget. I think I was streaming Skyrim or something at this time, and I went into someone else's after show. And I thought this was a really good image, but it, as a thumbnail, it doesn't work as well because it just doesn't show up as well. You can't tell as well what it is when it's like a small thumbnail, only when it's large. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with maybe just, well, let's see what it looks like smaller. Yeah, you can't really tell what it is. I like it, but as a thumbnail it's not as good. I'll go with C tier. This one's a good one. Creationism on trial. I guess this was when SFT offered to let me kind of interrogate him. Kind of forget the details of it. Mostly a dodgeball game, to be honest. I like the thumbnail though. Decent, simple. B tier. This one, yeah, I think it suffers again, or it's kind of obscure. It's got a little bit of, you know, some obscure references thrown in there. It's kind of hard to tell what it looks like, what it is actually, unless you know the reference when it's smaller. C tier. We'll do C tier. This one has a long storied history. I tried dozens, literally dozens of combinations of this. I tried to get, because what were we talking about? Danny said something about oh, he said if a girl with just massive breasts comes up to him, he's gonna look at him anyway, even if he's not sexually attracted to them. They just gravitationally grab your gaze just because of their shape and their size. And so I wanted to make a clickbait thumbnail based on this, and YouTube kept blocking it over and over and over. And I even searched on YouTube something about boobs, and I literally just ripped off the thumbnails from other videos which were already up, and YouTube blocked those. And somehow, for some reason, I got this one to work. And so I have a little anime girl worshipping some anime titties. So I'll go B tier. It's a good image. It's a little I feel like a little bit amateurish as far as thumbnails go. So let's see, what do we got so far? Well, I think we're running out of room a little bit. I'll have to scrunch it down. And I'll kind of let you review, look at what we've got so far. I guess we have mostly B tier. Alright. Let me check the chat, actually, if there's any chat going on. Congrats, WTG Snake. I'm moderating the debate tonight. A debate on modern day debate. I don't know what debate you're talking about, Factitionalist. But yeah, I've seen you moderate a few of those debates. You're a good moderator. We should chat sometime soon. And thanks for the congrats, Randy. And thanks, Factitionalist. Alright, where were we? Alright, this is kind of my lowest tier heat problem thumbnail. I'll give you a better look. Yeah, pretty basic. It's, you know, it'll give you a chuckle, I guess. But I'll go with C tier, because there's better ones. Oh, by the way, I guess I'll explain this. This is the Emperor from Star Wars with my face, my avatar's face on it. You know, one of the quotable moments from Star Wars is the Emperor saying, "Do it." So, the snake is telling Eve to eat the apple. This was a kind of a was the snake right kind of a discussion. I think it was on Amy Newman's channel. And yeah, it was something about the Garden of Eden. Was God evil for, you know, kicking them out of the garden? Should they have eaten the fruit? And of course I say yes, the knowledge of good and evil is good. Alright, this one, I just like making fun of politicians. They're all evil, worst humans alive. If they're even worst humans in history. Not these specific people, but politicians in general. They're all the worst people. They play war games for their own fun. But I liked, I just liked them all laughing at the people suffering. This is an image of people trying to ride the top of a plane out of Afghanistan because of Biden, which I guess I didn't put Biden in the thumbnail. I guess that's a it's a missed opportunity. Yeah. I'll do B tier since I didn't put Biden in there. I would say A tier otherwise. This is a spicy one. This is another one YouTube kind of gave me some hassles with. It, at first I had some, I guess it was a stolen image, something about abortion. I put there was a kind of a silhouette of a naked pregnant woman. There was no actual nudity. I put like some scissors near it. I don't know. I forget the whole story, but I went through a lot of variations. So I ended up just putting an image of a baby running away from some scissors. No text. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. This was an abortion debate. Nicholas Whitmire, I believe. Of course, I don't believe abortion is actually done to babies. There's a difference between a baby and a zygote, and if you don't believe me, here's a thought experiment for you. Take a fertilized egg in a petri dish, and take a birthed 2-hour-old baby, and I'm gonna set one on fire. You get to choose, and guess which one you're gonna pick. I think I know. I think that I know. Let's see here. What is next? The zombie den. I actually have a shirt with this image of a guy on top of a car surrounded by zombies. That's where I got this idea from. This was when I went in one time just surrounded by, look at this, the dumbest creationists on the platform. No question, hands down, Nephilim free, Jason Ezard. I know we kind of reconciled a little bit, but your arguments for creationism just not gonna fly. Tony, straight up Neanderthal. That's why I called him Neandertony, and we're gonna see that pretty soon somewhere around here. Praise I am. He thinks that being able to control something with electrodes is evidence of psychic ability. John Maddox, again, possibly the lowest tier creationist. Yeah. Is this A tier? We'll put that in B tier. It's funny, but it's not quite as attention grabbing, and it's not quite as clear what's going on. Factitionalists, are you planning any new debates in the near future? Yeah, I'm actually having a socialism debate like in a couple hours. I just had a Kent Hovind debate. What else? I have me and Standing for Truth are gonna be doing something soon. I feel like I had something planned for later this week. I don't know. Yeah, but stuff will come rolling in soon. I'm sure some more heat problem debates. Speaking of, this was a couple weeks ago. Professor McQueen. This is, I think, an improvement upon the last heat problem thumbnail. I like the little crying earth. I had to remove some of the, those free images that have like stock image grates over them. I just photoshopped those out. Let's see, is this A tier? I would say maybe A tier. But how does that compare to this heat problem thumbnail? Actually, it might be better. But I like this. I connected it to the "this is fine" meme, which is a dog who's sitting in his house as it's burning down. And he's just saying this is fine. And that's the creationist attitude towards the heat problem. They're just like, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. We'll figure it out someday. It doesn't bother them at all. This is fine. I'll put that in A tier. Just for the cleverness of it. Just patting myself on the back. This one is another one of those ones that I think is a really good idea, but it's hard to tell what's happening. Somehow I got a, SFT's symbol is Superman for some reason. Superman apparently was a creationist. Anyway, this was this thing that it was on Speed of Sound's channel, Answers in Atheism, and I was just demolishing some arguments for genetic entropy that SFT was giving in the chat, and they were like responding to one of his videos. Hey Lisa, how's it going? And yeah, so my thumbnail idea was I found some image of Superman's dad. I don't know, I forget what it was. maybe it's just from what he's saying, because he's saying, "Punish me, daddy, I deserve it." I don't know if that's photoshopped in or whether what. But at least this main image is from an actual comic, so I photoshopped my avatar's head in, spanking Superman, the symbol of SFT. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on, though, when the thumbnail is small, and I always try and, do that. I always try and look at it from, thumbnails, someone looking at it on their phone or something. I don't know. What do you think? I'll go C tier, because you can't really tell what it is unless you're up close. This is another meme format that if you don't know the meme, you're not going to get it. It's Mr. Incredible becoming uncanny, which is just making Mr. Incredible look more and more strange as he looks at more and more strange things and becomes more and more horrified. I made this, there's a meme format where he does that. I did that with Creationists. I did that with Kent Hovind as well. I just did one dedicated just to Kent Hovind, and that was this one where I just degraded his face in Photoshop as much as possible while still kind of making it look like him. It's like an uncanny image of a face. So, yeah, in this one, it's Kent Hovind becoming uncanny when he looks at evolution arguments. This one is Mr. Incredible becoming uncanny as he listens to various creationists. I'll put these in B tier. I'm gonna have to start overlapping. There we go, I guess. Alright. Yes, Lisa, Jeebus will save us. It is promised. He is the prince that is promised. Let's see, where was I? This was responding to Brenton Langle's unhinged rant about Kyle Rittenhouse and how this will lead to like the Civil War destruction of America. People just running around shooting each other. It's a trip, man. This guy, Brenton Langle, is one of the most entrenched, insane leftists ever, and he got mad at me. We had a socialism debate, and he got mad at me in the comments because I said he carries water for every single leftist position, and he has to because the left will destroy you if you don't. And yeah, he started being like, he was like, I was nice to you. You're an unknown. I'm the big deal YouTuber, and I was nice enough to you to debate you on socialism. I will never talk to you again. And meanwhile, he said, because I said that he toes the line of every far leftist position, and he does. He couldn't get, like, he tried to give an example. He was like, I forget what his example was, but it was like, no, that's still a far left position. Anyway, actually, I might even put this on S tier, just because you can kind of, it looks like he's kind of molesting Kyle Rittenhouse. This one was my Hovind debate from, what, Thursday? This week? I'm actually pretty proud of this. I've gotten a little bit better at making thumbnails. It's just him playing dodgeball. I'm going to put this in an S tier. Because it looks... You can tell it's Kent Hovind. You can tell he's dodging the ball from when it's a small thumbnail. Pretty good overall. This is another one. Good idea. Not great execution. It's me and Emotionally Stunted Emoticon, aka Call Me Evo. And this is the Pulp Fiction meme where Jules and what's John Travolta's character, they're holding guns, and instead I replaced that with him holding a biology book and me holding a DNA up to true empiricism. Good idea. Hard to tell what it is in execution. I don't know. Might even put that in D tier. Let's see here. This is Preacher Perry. I made a thumbnail. I took a clip out of one of Amy Newman's shows. What's up, Overthinking Layman? Thank you for the congrats. And you appreciate how open I am to engagement and discussion, and I appreciate your appreciation. Yeah, I'll talk to anyone. I talked to someone who thinks gays should be executed by the government the other day, and you know what? It's because these people are misled. I really don't think most people are that malicious, and even if they were, I would still talk to them just to publicly shame them. So, and yeah, Lisa, I completely respect anyone who decides not to talk to Calvin. He is he is a convicted wife beater. If he said anything to me about lecturing me on morality, that I was going to say I don't need to be lectured by a convicted wife beater. It didn't end up coming up. I'm trying to get him to debate is evolution evil, and I have something special planned for that, and that might be the last time that we talk, just based on I'll get what I want from him, and he might not talk to me again because we'll be talking about morality, and his morality might come up if he brings it up. So yeah, anyway, back to the thumbnail. Yeah, another meme format. Some people might not get the meme. Perry got beat the F out. He said something about the Quran says Jesus. What was it? Oh, I'm trying to remember. The Quran says Jesus was the Son of Man, and he gave something like that, and he gave the passage, and we read it out, and I asked him to read it, and he read it, and it said, no, Jesus is not the Son of God. And he's like, okay, that's okay. So that's this meme format where you put on a smiling face, but really inside you're crying. I'll put it in A tier for now. Just it's simple, it's eye-catching, it's got a meme format. But this was the thumbnail for the full discussion. If you don't know this meme, it's from porn star Piper Perry on blacked.com or something like that. It's become an image meme where she's surrounded by all these virile men, and they're all about to ravage her. This tiny little girl surrounded by these giant, strong men. This was all I could think of when we were doing this Amy Newman show, and Perry the Preacher came in, and we all absolutely annihilated him. Similar to a gangbang of a tiny woman. So I'm going to put this in S tier for sure. This was definitely S tier. All right, we're getting I think we're getting through this. This was my 4 or 5 hour conversation with Schmokey Saint, who I understand has been outed as being a convicted pedophile. He engaged in statutory rape of a 13-year-old when he was, I think, 21. That's recently come out. So yeah, Mr. Schmokey is a bit in a hot water recently, and anyway, I ended up spanking him for several hours on the flood and all of his excuses as to why it was okay for God to murder innocent babies, etc., etc. And I found this image of an anime girl spanking someone. Of course, anime girls are always great to use in thumbnails. This video ended up doing pretty well, so I credit the thumbnail for that. I might even put it in S tier. A tier? S tier. I'll do S tier. Alright, this one. Pretty good idea. Yeah. It was a debate on the prime mover, so I did a little pun on Optimus Prime, who's telling someone to move, so it's the prime mover. And of course, there's the thing about Captain America, when he has this whole quote of like, when all of society is telling you to move, it is your job to, well, I think he's actually quoting someone else. I forget what the original quote is, but maybe Mark Twain or something. It is your job to plant yourself by the root of truth and tell them, no, you move. So, good idea. I'll put it in B tier. We'll do B tier. There's too much in B tier. I'm just a B student. This one I like, but it might not show up that well as small. Yeah, it's not as clear when small. It's Jesus arm wrestling the flying spaghetti monster. This was a morality after show. Well, I think I used the same thumbnail for the actual morality debate, so we don't have to duplicate that. I'll put that in, we'll do B tier again. Good idea. Not as good when it's a small thumbnail, but still a good idea. Here we go. Neander Tony. I came up with that. Tony is one of the dumbest creationists out there. He thinks he's super smart because he just repeats, do it. Create a living cell. And then he doesn't really engage in anything else. He just says laboratories purify materials. That doesn't count as research. So this guy literally doesn't know why people use laboratories and why they skip steps in laboratory experiments. Like, it's kind of like, okay, why don't you grow your own what is well, first of all, grow your own apples. What is cinnamon? Like, cinnamon comes from some plant, right? It's like the stalk of some plant. Grow your own cinnamon, grow your own wheat, and your own sugar cane to make your own apple pie. It's like, no, you're just going to go buy the ingredients from someone else. Experiments don't want to do everything from scratch because that takes longer, Tony. I don't know if this is A tier. We'll put it in A tier. Whatever. Lisa, you didn't know? Are you talking about Smokey and his criminal history? And I just use basic Photoshop for the thumbnails. And my Photoshop is like from 2007 or something. So, back when people bought discs, I still have a disc of Photoshop. So I've used it on every computer I've owned since then. Works fine. Yeah. Takes a while. There's some things that I discovered literally last week that are like game changers. I just like have been doing it the hard way the whole time. Okay. This was my first debate with Steve McRae. And somehow I saw this image of him flipping his hair. I had much longer hair at that time. It's now at my shoulders. So I cut off literally more than a foot of hair since then. Much easier to wash. Yeah. And also the Game of Thrones meme. You either win or you die. And so I guess it's the game of hair. I don't know. I just thought it would be fun. I think he's cut his hair since then too. I don't know. I'll put it at A tier. This one was Matt Powell's attempt to get into the YouTube prank game, and I used the image of Eddie Murphy from Raw. It's funny, but you know, it's just a little funny. I'll put that in C tier. This one is, you know, pretty self-explanatory. John Maddox's channel, Logical, Plausible, Probable. I just struck a line through all of them on a backdrop of his God. Simple but effective. I'll put it in B tier. We're running out of room here. Alright. This was, I think his name is Christopher Mann. He kind of like... Where's the other one? Am I missing that one? He basically was doing like an interrogation of me because I said I left the left, and which really more accurately is the left leaving me behind because they just gone too far. Let's see if I can find the other thumbnail. Hey, thanks for the congrats, Gur. Let's see here. I did bump up to 667 and then I bumped back down. So, for the first time in history, I actually thank someone for unsubbing from me. Let's see if I can find that other Christopher Mann thumbnail because it's kind of funny. Let's see. I can get it up here somewhere. Yeah, I didn't load it into this somehow before when all the other ones were. So, but to explain this one, this one has a long history behind it. There's a song called Perfect by Princess Superstar, and there was a remix of it, like an official remix, where I forget who the DJ was who remixed it, but it was this music video, and you know, one of the basically the chorus is "I'm perfect," and the girls are like, you know, they're doing gymnastics and exercises and all that kind of stuff. And that's all I could think of when when Christopher Mann was claiming that he is perfect during this conversation, because well, one, leftism apparently is perfection, I guess. I don't know how he figures that. He is saying the more left you are, the more correct you are, and the more right, like that's his definition of what left is. So if you're correct, you are leftist. So I don't really know what he's talking about. But if I could find that other thumbnail, here it is. Yeah, I'll show that to you in a second. This was split. This conversation was split up into two. Oh, I went down to 665. Damn. Well, I guess that's a wrap. See you guys. Just kidding. We'll get back up there. I promise. I promise. Let's see here. Here, I'll upload this one. And yeah, so that's the story behind that. It's an obscure reference, so, but I guess I'll put it on B tier because it still looks interesting. This conversation was split up into two because it was like 6 hours or something. And I like the guy, he's fine, but you know, he's a little presumptuous. So I put him in an Inquisitioner's outfit. Kind of hard to tell what it is though, so I'll put that in C tier. Yeah, I don't know why, like, I don't know why people are unsubbing. I don't know if I said something that offended them, or I think YouTube just unsubs people like periodically. It's weird. Yeah. Let's see here. Did I miss any other good thumbnails? Yeah, I missed a couple, I think. Let's see. I'll upload. Let's see about this one. Confused Jesus. This was another conversation with Nicholas Whitmire. He thought he had a syllogism to prove Jesus. Didn't quite work out. Even Smoky Saint, aka Stinky Taint, said it wasn't very good. I don't know. I'll put this in B tier. But yeah, now with everything that's come out about Smoky Saint, I'm a little less ready to accept his agreement. What else did we have here? I forgot. Oh, this one's funny. This one's my dog. Like, it literally has nothing to do with most of what I do on the channel, but my dog was eating grasshoppers, so I uploaded a video for eating grasshoppers. I think this is a pretty funny image. I'll put that in B tier. And then the this was something I worked on for a long time. I put a lot of effort into it and ended up being one of my least viewed to effort ratioed videos. Was exposing Governor Cuomo for his sexual indiscretions, as well as his brother. Like, I went through the actual documents, why he was fired, why it's reasonable that his accusers are correct, and they have reasonable evidence. Please check that one out if you haven't. I put a lot of work into that one for not a lot of gain. It's kind of funny. I'll put it in B tier. Anyway, we're almost done. Oh. I think I know what happened. I think there's only a certain amount of thumbnails that can actually be loaded into this. So, let's see, where was I? Let me take a look at the folder real quick. And you can keep looking at my blank thing. Okay, yeah, I might have to add a couple extras. So let's go with the ones at the bottom so far. Okay, this is the last one that didn't get bumped out. This one, if y'all have not seen my Kent Hovind rap, this is possibly the video I'm most proud of, and it should be going viral, honestly, you guys. Me and Atheist Jr. had a Hovind rap battle, and you know, not to brag or anything, but I kind of won. Answers in Atheism said so, so it's true. So I'm putting this in S tier. That's Kent Hovind as a rapper. Lil Pump. That's Lil Pump. Well, I don't know. Yeah, Lil Pump. Lil Pump's hair. Kent Hovind. Okay. So I will upload some of those thumbnails that are getting bumped out now. Just a second. We're almost done. We can move on to the modern day debate ones, which are kind of more funny because I was giving them to James from Modern Day Debate. Alright. I've done all these. Done all these. Yeah, we're almost done. I did not do these. Just one sec while they upload. Okay, this one was a 3.5 hour treatise on this gender debate where I take a very nuanced position. Ooh, back up to 666. If that was you, Factitionalist, I thank you. You are the most important person who's ever existed, other than, of course, myself. Because, of course, getting me to 666 only glorifies myself. But if you are the one who did it, you are the second most important, because you are glorifying the most important, of course. And if you couldn't tell, I have a very dry sense of humor. Anyway, my very nuanced take on this, and this is not sarcastic at all, it was very nuanced, was about how, both of these people were wrong. Mostly the Christian fundamentalist. This is how you can tell I'm honest. I think he won the debate, even though I despise the guy. He's a transphobic, but I think the gender activists on the other side, since they can't define, he asked them, can you define what a woman is? And they said, no, only women can define what women is. It's just such an insane response that it just, you win the debate when you ask a question like that. Of course, his definition of woman was wrong. Adult human female. You don't have to be female to be a woman. Trans women are women. The true, and I can prove this because you don't need to look in someone's pants to be able to label them a woman, right? And we haven't been, that has never been a standard. That's how you tell whether someone's male or female. Different thing entirely. Anyway, I don't want to rehash the whole thing, but I gotta explain. If only women can tell you what a woman is, how do you know that someone is a woman if you can't tell what a woman is unless you're a woman? You would have to define yourself as a woman to know who is a woman so that they can tell you who is a woman. And just the idea that you can't identify something unless you are that thing is just that's just not how language works. So, but the true definition of a woman is someone with primarily female sex characteristics. So, no, you don't have to have XX genes. There are women who can get pregnant who have XY genotypes. And you don't have to have female genitalia in order to be a woman either, because injuries, genetic problems, you don't have to be fertile to be a woman. Yeah, as long as you there are feminine and masculine characteristics, right? So that's how we define those things. Anyway, very friendly to the LGBTs. I am a part of the queers. In one way or another. And so never want people to think that I'm against that. I just think you have to be able to define the words that you use. And that's the point. That was the point of that video. I've gone on too long about that. So we'll go back to... this was related to Nicholas Whitmire's supposed proof for God. I call it the harmonious ontological argument because the ontological argument is basically it's the greatest possible being type thought process, where you say God is the greatest possible type being, and somehow in there the greatest possible being necessarily exists, which, yeah, it kind of does, but it's not necessarily the greatest possible imaginable being. The greatest possible being might fall short of the greatness that you can imagine. So, yeah, I can imagine the tallest possible penguin is 1,400 light years in height, but in reality, the tallest possible penguin is like a couple of feet high, right? So, and of course, the Obi-Wan meme, visible confusion, because it's a very confusing argument. I call it harmonious ontological because instead of saying greatest possible, Nicholas kind of says most harmonious possible sort of thing. I'll put that in B tier. Because you can tell Obi-Wan is still very confused. Alright, what else have I missed? I think we got everything. And we can move on. I don't think that thumbnail, this one, I don't know if it deserves D tier. We'll put it at, you know, C minus, I guess. None of my work is D tier. Alright? So, let's wipe the board. And we'll start over with the thumbnails that actually I got paid to do by Modern Day Debate. Let's see, where does that start? That's on the other tab. Let's just get rid of these real quick. Take one last look before they're gone. And yeah, James reached out to me and paid me to do some thumbnails for him and kind of teach him how to use Photoshop, or kind of like, he kind of had to learn how to do like layers, like how you layer certain things, which is pretty easy to do. Alright, that didn't take as long as I thought. Now, alright, where does this start? Well, I think I'll start giving some examples. Like, this is also story time because, alright, things like this. He asked me to do a biblical violence thumbnail. And, what's up, Brainbug? So, I came up with this. Jesus holding guns. James said, no, we're not really supposed to put guns in thumbnails. So, yeah, I kind of agreed with him. I also had this. I think I gave him both those at the same time. And yeah, the response was no guns. So, fail. I'll put this in D tier because I like it a little better. So what we ended up doing was this. And so I have the animals from Ice Age and Madagascar being drowned by the flood, with Moses standing there holding a sword. Is biblical violence immoral? So, yeah, it's pretty good thumbnail, I'll say. What does it look like when it's smaller, though? Yeah, I'll put it at B tier. So, yeah, there's a story behind a lot of these. Like, this was David Wood versus Matt Dillahunty. And ultimately, I don't think he used these because I wanted them to be like similar enough to, you know, kind of achieve the effect like this. But he was like, why are you using Matt's old fat pictures? And I was like, okay. I really like this though. So I'll put it at D, even though it failed. I don't think he actually ended up using this because, again, he didn't want to use. He wanted to use some more recent pictures of Matt. let's see here. What else has a story behind it? The racism debate. So the first attempt I gave was this. Yeah. So this is based on the meme of the little kid going, "That's racist!" And, you know, not as tasteful as it could be. So, of course, you know, I had to redo that one. I like this one, but didn't work out. So we went with the much more tasteful version, which is a monkey in a KKK suit. Of course, because Darwinism is racism and monkeys are associated with Darwinism. Actually, it's a chimpanzee. Technically is a monkey, but also is an ape. So yeah, of course, this one was, you know, just much more highbrow than the other one. Of course, I'm gonna put this one in S tier. Honestly, I love it. Another highbrow thumbnail, which is worse, white nationalism or Islam, and it's got the meme format of the guy sweating, unable to make a choice. I kind of put a grunge overlay over it, and you know, I think I told James how to like take off the overlay, because you send the Photoshop file and it has layers on it that you can manipulate. PNG is just what it is. Yeah, I really like this one. I'll put it in A tier though. This one, pretty standard. Beckel versus Skylar Fiction. You know, it is what it is. Decent thumbnail. Nothing special though. Actually, we'll go with this one. Same here. SJ versus Skylar Fiction. Basic stuff. Functional as it is. We'll repaste this one so it's on top. Are there reasons to believe in God? It's just, it was a T-jump debate, so I put T-jump's head in the stars. Laser eyes shining, overlaid over God and Adam. Solid thumbnail. Funny. I rate these primarily on their funniness or their absurdness or just interesting to look at. This one, me versus, at the time, Duncan Atheism. I guess he's gone back to Darth Dawkins. That's what he's most known as. Scapegoat Iscariot. If we came from European countries, why are there still Europeans? Yep. That's a 170 IQ question. No evolutionist can answer it. Mind blown. So yeah. Me versus Darth Dawkins. I have kind of a trippy background there, like acid-induced transcendental background, because he just talks about ultimate transcendental blah blah blah. And it's me, laser eyes, versus his cross-shooting lasers like the Emperor from Star Wars. Me at the debate podium. Obviously, I wiped the floor with him because he rage quit. I think this is a pretty good thumbnail. Not sure how much the thumbnail attracted attention on this particular debate, but I think it is my most watched debate to this day. This is just very simple. It was a debate on the Euthyphro dilemma, so I just put up Euthyphro, a statue of Euthyphro, and the basic premise is God willing to prevent evil but not able. Wait, is that Euthyphro? I think that's, well, I think that's part of his discourse on is God good because he's good or good because he's God. I forget actually. But I think it was a debate on Euthyphro, if not, is just the problem of evil. Good thumbnail. This is kind of a mess, but you can see kind of what I was going for. There's a little Jesus in the molecule, and you know, math going on in the background. Does physics point to a god? Decent thumbnail. Nothing special. Same here. I think Kenny something versus Kent Hovind. I put them in like a UFC fighting ring. This one I'm quite proud of. The debate was titled Endgame because it was like the culmination of several debates between Erica and SFT, who at the time was using a lot of SpongeBob imagery and often himself was using and depicted by SpongeBob. So I connected that to Avengers Endgame. And yeah, I had a little funny picture of Erica there holding up a fossil. SpongeBob. I'll go with A tier for that one. This one, now. This was like one of the previous debates. SpongeBob versus Erica. Arm wrestle with what was his name from Jurassic Park? Mr. DNA or something. Yeah, he's officiating. I'm gonna say A tier, honestly. It's a funny image. So this was a three-way debate between Christians, Buddhists, and atheists. Well, I guess one each. So, yeah, I put Buddy Jesus, Flying Spaghetti Monster, and an image of Buddha upon a trippy transcendental background. Three-way. I think this one deserves A tier. This was an Illuminati debate. And I guess these are like some Illuminati guys from American Horror Story, I think. I put the Illuminati symbol. Charlie doing his, conspiracy wall thing. And of course, the robot alien hybrid, reptilian Mark Zuckerberg. Are the Illuminati real? You tell me. I'm a reptilian, but not that kind of reptilian. Yeah, I'll put that at B tier because it's a little hard to see what's going on. It's a little much going on. Sometimes I try and put too much into the thumbnails. This, I forget why I ended up using Jim Carrey, but I guess I found this image of him and it was funny, and so I have him holding a Bible and holding like a supernova. Genesis versus cosmology. There you go. Solid B tier thumbnail. G-Man. G-Man's one of the only creationists I have not gotten to yet. And the other day I saw Brett Keane is still active. So G-Man and Brett Keane, whom I know from the Amazing Atheists old podcast. Both of them, they've been around a long time. I'm gonna get to you guys. I'll get you one day. Solid thumbnail, I think. B tier. This one, another one, good idea. Hard to execute. So I put God under this microscope and the meme of the baby going, and is there scientific evidence for God? So I put him under a microscope because microscopes are sciencey things. So it's a bit hard to see what's going on though. I'll say B+. or C+. This was, so James sent me Red Venture's avatar. At the time, I was obsessed with sprucing things up with lightning, make it seem more epic. I think it's alright. You know, just trying to create funny imagery at that point. C tier. Another Darth Dawkins debate. You know, I'm really proud of how I made the flying spaghetti monster, like kind of coyly looking around the atheism symbol, kind of laughing at Darth from behind it. With, you know, the audience looking on. Not bad. B tier. This one has too much going on. T-Jump versus Neffy. I'm inspired by my shirts a lot. I have a shirt with this exact decal of Jesus on a velociraptor. And then I put some dinosaurs from that old show with the puppet dinosaurs in the background. Did dinos live with man? Good idea. Rough execution. I'll put that in C tier. Another Darth Dawkins. Kind of a run-of-the-mill thing. Debating Florida man. So, yeah. C tier. Functions well enough, right? Let's see. This one was a much better version. I started getting more simplistic. Dude riding a dinosaur. Did dinos live with humans? Simple. When you start putting all the debaters' faces in there, it starts to get a little too much. Sometimes that's what James wanted. Sometimes it didn't matter. So this one is SpongeBob Imagination versus SpongeGar, who is the primal Neanderthal-like troglodyte type SpongeBob. So, you know, less evolved SpongeBob versus, of course, Kent's SpongeBob Imagination. Not bad, not bad. I will put that in A tier. Alright, we're almost through here, guys. See if I missed anything. Nope. This was a three-way. Communism versus capitalism versus socialism, which communism is a type of socialism, but a distinct type, I guess you could say. So, fair enough. So I've got Karl Marx wearing a Russian Soviet Union hat, holding the Soviet Union flag, versus Bernie Sanders holding up, you know, the generic symbol for socialism flag. Yes, I know Bernie Sanders is a democratic socialist. It's different, but it's funny, okay? This is done for humor. And then, of course, Mr. Moneybags from Monopoly riding a horse that has a bunch of money strapped to it for capitalism, holding a flag that has the dollar symbol on it. So, yes. I would personally put this on A tier. I like this one a lot. It's effective. It's interesting. Oh, already did that one. What is this? Ben Burgess versus Mr. Reagan or something? I think that's who he is. Pretty typical. It's got an epic background though. Nothing too special, but good enough. There we go. C tier. Let's see. Again, I think this is an SFT debate. So there's a lot of SpongeBob imagery. It's got kind of ADD with all the SpongeBob in there, but there you go. SpongeBob imagination, guys. I'll put that on C tier. Right in front of Veckel's debate. Anti-theism on trial. Yeah. Not bad. I'll put that on B tier. Quite clear what's going on. Not too humorous, but better than a C tier, I would say. Aha. This one is better. Judge Judy swinging her gavel of lightning like Thor's hammer. Anti-theism on trial. Of course, judges do trials. That's how you get there. A tier. Buddhist versus Christian versus atheist debate on the afterlife. And it's got Buddha hugging Jesus and the flying spaghetti monster with a stairway to heaven in the background. So, you know, let's see. Yeah, I'll say A tier. I think it's better than the other Buddha versus Jesus, so I'll put that at B+. Put this one on A tier. Okay, I guess there's one left. So I didn't save the best for last, but this is what's left last. All of the ones I made for modern day debate. Is coronavirus caused by 5G? Which of course the answer is yes. All of it is a hoax. Everything is a hoax. Including hoaxes. So, you know, another one, good idea. Hard to tell what's going on. It's a cell tower that's broadcasting viruses. It looks pretty good when it's big. Hard to tell what's going on when it's smaller. I'll put you in C tier. So that is it. What was the best one here? Honestly, I think this might be the best one. This one has the most class, the most taste. It's very simplistic, eye-catching. It's got some science thrown in there. It's got our monkey sticking his tongue out, mocking us. And of course, evolution is the most dangerous and, well, the dumbest and most dangerous religion in the world. Okay, guys? So, yeah, that's it. I definitely missed a few thumbnails that I've created over the years for my own videos. But I think I gave you the highlights, and I think I got everything that I made for modern day debate. Yeah. So, anyway, that was our 666 subscriber special. And I'm going to, right after this, I have another stream with a socialist who thinks he's created like a socialist AI. And, yeah, tune into that if you want. And thank you guys for getting me this far. It is actually all thanks goes to the subscribers, everything. I do it for you guys. I do it for my own sanity, but, you know, you guys keep me going. So, yeah. Any last words in the chat before I throw up the outro? And I'll give you a couple seconds. Don't type a novel, because you're not going to get long. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, And if you have something to say, hop on my next stream coming up in a few minutes. And let's see here. Very smooth, as always. God bless.